Hello, Mr. Lee. I'm Jimmy, and I will show my face at last. And today, my video essay is talking about how to make a connection between secant and tangent. At first, I will show my graph to you. You can see the graph is here, and after that, I pick up 2 point G and point C. At first, I will graph the tangent line in point C. Yeah, so yeah, this is the tangent line. After that, I will across the point G and point C to make a secant line. Okay, and after that, I will say the x value of point C is A, and the y value of point C is FA, and also the x value of G is A minus H, and the y value of point G is Fa minus H. And notice that in here, H should be absolute value. It should be absolute H because why? The H mean is the distance between x value of G and the x value of A in here. So in our life, the H is mean distance here. So in our life, the distance should be always positive and not negative. And now I will say in this essay, I using the preceding interval formula, which is the point G should be in the left side of point C. And however, if I use the following interval, the G will be in the right side of point C. So in my essay, the H should be smaller than 0. But if I use the following interval, the H should be bigger than 0. Okay, and now we remember that we studied the slope of secant formula before, which is slope of secant is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And we know all the x value and y value of these 2 points, so we can put all of this value into the slope of secant formula. And after that, we can get a new one, which is the slope of secant GC. So I says is mgc is equal to fa minus fa minus h divided by h. This is the slope of secant formula in here. And then I will talk about why the next step. I will making the point G approaching to point C, which is I will make the x value of point G approaching to the x value of point C. And then I will make the second point of G, which is G2, and I will across G2 and point C to make a new secant line. Okay, got it. And you can see the secant line is approaching to the tangent line. So I can make it clearly, and I can pick up the second point of G is G3, and I will make across G3 to and the point C and make the new secant line. And now you can see it's very obviously the secant line is approaching to tangent lines. And also we can say the H is approaching to 0. Okay, and then remember we studied the limit logarithm before. So also we can, because the secant line is approaching to the tangent line, so we can make a small conclusion. Because the secant line is approaching to tangent line, so the slope of secant is approaching to slope of tangent. And now I will write in the slope of tangent formulas, which is mt equal to mt tangent, and mt is equal to limit h approaching to 0. Remember, we studied the limits logic before, and in this space, this is the meaning is this is the number which is we can control that. And on the right side of lamp, and we will write in the slope of secant formula, which we get before in this one. I will write into it. It's fa minus h divided by h. Oh, sorry. It should be a straight line. And notice that we use the preceding interval to in this essay, so the h should be smaller than 0. But if I use the following, which is the h will bigger than 0, the mt will be equal to limit h approaching 0. This not change, but the y side of lim is changed, which is fa plus h minus fa divided by h. Why? Because like I said before, when I use the following interval, the h should be bigger than 0, and also the point g will be in the y side of point C. So this is why the y value of G is fa plus h. Okay, this is the first part in my radio essay, and now I will go to the second part. And the second part, I choose the first question, which is fx is when x not equal to 2, the fx should be equal to x squared, and when x equal to 2, the fx should be equal to 3. And now I will describe this function on no tangent line. No tangent line. Yeah. And first I will use the first method is I will use the preceding and following interval formulas to calculate the ARC. At first, I will assume the h is equal to 0.01, and the ARC should be equal to f2 minus f2 minus 0.01, which is the h, and divided by h is 0.01. And I calculate before, which is equal to minus 96.01, and in the y side, which is the following interval, the ARC should be equal to f2 plus 0.01 minus f2 divided by 0.01, and the answer should be 104.01. And now we can compare these two answers, and in our concept, we said before, we studied before, when the graph has tangent, when we use the preceding interval, and after we use the preceding interval formula and the following interval formula, and we get two answers, and these two answers should be very closer. But now we can see these two answers is too far apart. And then we can change the h value, which is h equal to, assume the h equal to 0.001. And I calculate the ARC should be minus 996.001, and in following interval the ARC will be equal to 1004.001, and you can compare these two numbers. It's the same situation, which is also far apart each other. And we can make a first conclusion after we use the preceding interval formula and following interval formulas. And when we see these two answers is far apart, we can say the graph is do not have tangent line. This is the first reason. And the second reason and the last reason I will show you in the decimal. And we can see the decimal. Normally, on this function, f(x) is equal to x squared. When x equal to 2, the y value should be 4 in here. But in the question, we can see when x equal to 2, the f(x) is equal to 3. So in the graph, the point 2, 3 should be the whole point. So we can see, and after that we can see the graph is not continuous because the 2.24 is the whole point, is a whole. And this is the second reason why this graph no tangent, because the graph is not continuous. And the last question is, we can see the 0.23, and you can see the point is very lonely here and just in this graph. And I can say in the 0.23 we can make a lot of tangent line like this in 360 degree. So we cannot make sure which is tangent is belong to this function. So this is a last reason why this graph is no tangent line. So this is my video essay, and so you can see me. And thank you for listening.